Hi, welcome back to Healthy Living 8080. I'm Tammy, and this is my latest vlog on sugar. I have hopefully got the kids to bed and they won't walk in, but I am tired of re-recording this, so if they walk in, bear with me and we will keep going. I have had a long week, can I be honest with you? I'm feeling a little tired, but I am goal-oriented and I promised you guys a new video every week, so that is what I'm doing, and I am going to push through and persevere, and we're going to get this done. I made myself my new favorite relaxing bedtime elixir. It's called Golden Milk. Google it if you're curious. It's very bizarre sounding. I never thought I'd like it. I'm not sure why I even really tried it, but I did, and I love it, and now it's my must-have every night, and I'm drinking it in my favorite cup, which happens to say, "Be still and know that I am God." That is how I'm living. This is my daily morning, nighttime cup to find my zen, find my peace, find my... Anyway, so we are gonna talk about sugar as I talk about calming down. Anyway, so we have talked about high fructose corn syrup. We've talked about why we should avoid that. And we've talked about artificial sweeteners, and we've talked about why we should avoid those. So now we're gonna talk about some sugars that we can have. But before I do that, I'm gonna touch on what we should avoid with plain sugar on the label. When something says sugar, we need to avoid it because most sugar comes from sugar beets, and most sugar beets here in America are genetically modified. So it's not going to be good for us. And I will get to that whole topic on GMOs. And if you're anything like I was when I started, that's a very scary thought. I'm like, everything either says non-GMO or what is that? And I don't know if that's something I want to even deal with, but it is something you want to deal with, and we'll talk about it. I don't want to overwhelm you guys, so baby steps. We're going to get through this. So I want to tell you that if it just says sugar and it does not have the non-GMO stamp on it, or it does not say USDA certified organic, then you really want to avoid it, and I do. Another one, just one more to avoid, and then I'll get to the good ones. Agave nectar. It's been mismarketed, and we all think like, oh, it's natural and it comes from a plant. But the truth is that it has higher fructose than high fructose corn syrup. It's actually worse than high fructose corn syrup. It's processed. There's no nutrition in it, and it spikes our blood sugar in well, it's lower on the glycemic index because the glucose in it is lower, but the fructose is high. But the fructose is what turns immediately to fat into our body. Our bodies don't know what to do with it. Our bodies need glucose, and fructose is more damaging. So we don't want the things that are higher in fructose. So those we should avoid. But now let's get to some good ones, some good alternatives. Honey. Honey I talked about in one of my previous vlogs on natural remedies, and it does so many things for our body, and I won't repeat those. You can watch that vlog if you want to, but honey is a good alternative. Coconut palm sugar is my personal favorite. It's lower on the glycemic index than most of the alternatives, and there are some trace minerals and vitamins in it, so it has some nutritional value. So we want to, I want to incorporate that when I can. Dates. Dates are a fruit. They actually have a good amount of vitamins and minerals. You can blend them into smoothies. You want to blend them first because otherwise you get little chunks in it. I mean, they're sweet. They're really not. They look scary. They're kind of sticky and funny looking, but they're really good. You can also soak them and then use the liquid to sweeten things. So that's a good alternative. Maple syrup. That's an alternative. It has some trace vitamins and minerals in it as well. So those are some good options. Let's talk about stevia for a minute. And I'll be honest with you, I haven't tried stevia before because for whatever reason, I just doubted its all natural claim because of the whole thing with agave nectar. So I just doubted it from the beginning, and the label always made me a little suspicious. So here's the thing. Stevia itself is very healthy. if it's just the leaf in powder form. But the problem with that is that it has a little bit of a bitter taste to it, so people don't tend to prefer it. So then you have stuff like Truvia. Truvia you need to avoid. There is a 42-step process. There is hardly any stevia in it, and it ends up being, nothing natural. So if you can get the leaf in powdered form, organic, stevia is a great option if you like the taste. And I'm actually going to try and order it on VitaCost here soon and try it out for myself, because now I'm not as afraid of it. I did a little research, and it looks like it could be a viable option for me. So if you want to read more, I've linked some articles on my Pinterest account where you can go and find like, what is the glycemic index on these and what does that mean? If you want to know more, I don't want to bore you guys with tons of details and ramble on. So that is a good option. And then coffee. I used to drink a little bit of coffee with my milk and sugar, and now I've learned some alternatives. Sometimes I will sweeten it with a little bit of like chocolate almond milk, and that will be a good option. It's a little bit sweet, and it's got a little bit of cocoa in it, and sometimes I'll put a drop of peppermint essential oil, and I've got kind of like a peppermint mocha, and it's delicious. Or I might even just put a little bit of cinnamon. Cinnamon helps, take the bite out of it, and it is actually healthy. I think it lowers, I'll reread about that, but cinnamon, I believe, lowers your blood sugar, so it's a great alternative. So that is what I have to say about sugar. Excuse me. It's been a week. I'm getting over a little bit of a cold myself. So bear with me. I'm sorry. This is real life. This is me. It's nothing fancy. It's just me getting you some information that I hope you can use and apply. And I'm just being real. I'm me. So I hope that you're learning and growing and feeling better. If you have success stories, share them with me. I would love to hear about how you've made a change or how you've learned to read labels, or, again, if you want to know more, let me know. And I'll be happy to touch more on whatever topics are interesting to you. So until then, be blessed, be well, and here's to healthy living.